GC presents The Retake.
Hey, welcome back. You're watching GC Presents The Retake and my name is Mohit, and now we've arrived to a very fun part of the show. I'm going to review and dissect a Bollywood cult classic with a Bollywood expert. But what makes a movie a cult classic? Because it broke all the records on the box office? Yes. Because we love watching it? Definitely. Because we watch it and rewatch it every time it is on the show? Absolutely. Also because it touched our hearts? Definitely. And that is what makes a movie a cult movie. Let's get set to say hello to our Bollywood expert. And today we're going to be talking about a movie which made an entire generation go, dude, this is cool. And to discuss that in the studio with me right now is the editor of the very popular Bollywood magazine in the UAE, Masala, Lekha Menon. Welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So, Lekha, I want to begin with asking you what made DIL CHAHTA such a cult, cool movie?
I think everything. The first thing are the dialogue. It was very conversational. It was not as if, somebody was reading out from a script.
Right.
And these were guys and girls who you could identify with. They could have been your neighbors.
Right.
Very stylish neighbors, I must say. But
Rich and stylish.
Very rich, very rich. And yes, that's another thing. It was very rich film.
दिल चाहता है कभी ना बीते चमकीले दिन दिल चाहता है हम ना रहे कभी यारों के बिन.
Okay, let's talk about the lead pair now. There was some confusion about these guys, right? Apparently, Amir Khan was not the first choice.
Amir Khan was not offered the film initially. This character was supposed to be played by Retake first, who rejected it. He had become a big star after
Come on,
Apna Pyar Hai. And then it went to Abhishek Bachchan, who also rejected it.
Thankfully.
And got it. And following which, Akshay Khanna was approached for that role. And Akshay's character, who was actually, he was supposed to play Sid. He was supposed to play Akash.
Right.
Amir Khan was approached for Akash then, and this was
Swap.
I remember watching it when I was in college, and I'm like, oh my god, is this how college kids dressed up? So that was the kind of effect it had.
Correct.
And initially, at first viewing, it didn't make such an impact because, this was a movie that didn't have a proper script. It didn't follow some linear narrative of, way of storytelling or something. But then again, when you scratch the surface and look beyond just what the one-line storyline would be, which is essentially a journey of three friends, there's so much more to it.
जिसे ढूंढता हूँ मैं हर कहीं जो कभी मिली मुझे है नहीं मुझे जिसके प्यार पर हो यकीन वो लड़की है कहाँ जिसे सिर्फ मुझसे ही प्यार हो जो ये कहने को भी तैयार हो सुनो तुम ही मेरे दिलदार हो वो लड़की है कहाँ.
Do you think 2001, Farhan Akhtar, the maker, was a step ahead of his time when he was making this movie?
I think he was right on time because this was a new millennium we're talking of. He was a trendsetter.
Right.
He led the way and that, hey, this is how the modern Indian youth or the Desi youth should be thinking.
Absolutely.
This is how they behave. They're cool about it. They were women who had relationships before and they were cool about that. This is not very, very non-filmy or non-Hindi film.
Coming of age cinema, would you like to call it?
Total coming of cinema, and the characters, you lived with them. You were a part of their journey.
हम यहाँ क्यों आए?
ओपरा देखने.
हाँ मगर क्यों?
वक्त आने पे खुद जान लोगे.
So you do think that this movie was also a breath of fresh air for their respective careers as well?
Absolutely.
Even for Amir Khan, that
Even for Amir Khan, and Amir had that year, Lagan releasing as well. So you can imagine two diverse characters. This shows his versatility.
Correct.
And this was a uber cool film.
Right.
Really uber cool.
Right.
And of course, the way it was shot was very mint fresh. The dialogue was very narrative, like as I said,
real.
Very, very real.
Yeah.
And I think it was also the first film that was shot in sync sound, which meant that there was no dubbing to it.
Dubbing to it, right.
So yeah, there are so many firsts to this film.
I want to talk to you about the impact that this movie made on the society. I mean, it did wonders for Amir's career and Saif's career. Not too much for Akshay Khanna, but let's give him the benefit that he probably was on his way out. Let's talk about what difference did it make to the people who watched the movie.
Who has not been in college and who have not had that fight between the friends?
Yeah.
Who has not had the crush on these girls? And there's one friend who's always having girlfriend problems
Affairs,
for instance,
yeah.
affairs. So these were very, very real situations.
Correct.
Which was not, again, as I said, a norm, the cinematic back in the day. So that's like 15 years later, it still seems so fresh.
Right.
dialogues which are so memorable even now.
अगर मैं तुम्हें फोन करूं तो
It's okay.
Well, let's talk about the women. Sonali Kulkarni, Preeti Zinta and Dimple Kapadia.
Wow.
कैसी है ये रुत की जिसमें फूल बनके दिल खिले गुल रहे हैं रंग
Here when I talk about the women, I must talk about the way they were styled. Again, they were given such cool looks. They looked fresh, and it was the Preeti Zinta's hairstyle. I remember it had become such a craze.
Such
then.
a race, yes.
And of course, it was apparently like 80 or 90 articles back then were devoted only to the looks and styling part of the movie.
Wow.
So you can imagine the marketing.
Yeah.
And so even now, I recently met Avan Contractor, the lady who had given them those looks.
Oh, wow.
So even in 2016, she's asked by people to give them the Amir Khan look.
Wow.
So you can imagine the impact of a film.
So finally, if it is 2016 and if Farhan Akhtar was supposed to make a remake of Dil Chahta Hai, do you think those characters of Amir and the actors actually, Amir, Saif and Akshay Khanna, should be kept back, or do you think it should be a new cast of a new Dil Chahta Hai?
No, I think they should be kept back. And I think instead of remaking it, there should be a sequel.
Right.
You know, you want to know what Sid and Akash and Sameer are up to now.
now.
How have they grown up to be middle-aged men? What's going on in their lives?
Right.
Has Sameer finally grown up in life?
Or is he still chasing women
Or
at
is
the
he
age of
still
45?
chasing- Yes, exactly. How has Akash turned into, I mean, has he become from a commitment phobe, has he become a total committed married man?
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, these are the things we want to know. So yeah, Farhan Akhtar, just make a sequel to Dil Chahta Hai.
Buck up,
Forget
Farhan.
Dawn, forget Dawn.
If you're listening, forget Dawn, and I think leave Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara and Dil Dhadkne to Zoya.
Let's have Dil Chahta Hai Tomorrow.
Focus on it. Dil Chahta Hai Dobara. There you have a
We
name.
have the title
Superb. Such a pleasure to have you in the show. Thank you so much, Lekha.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. And with this, the show comes to an end. This is the season premiere of GC Presents The Retake, and my name is Mohit. It's time to go home, you guys. But I will see you next time, same day on the same channel. And until then, if you want to keep in touch with me or stay tuned with what's up on The Retake, you can follow us on our various social media platforms. The information is right here. And I will see you next week. Until then, take good care of yourself. Yalla, bye.
GC presents The Retake. Presenting sponsor
GC Timepieces. Swiss Precision by Guess.
in association with Novo Cinemas, Gulf Technical, Jodhpur, Royal Dining, radio partner Radio Mirchi.